The whole stadium goes silent. A player places the ball. The goalkeeper bends his knees. Millions of people lean forward. One kick is coming. If it goes in, strangers hug like family. If it misses, an entire country feels the pain. That is football. But this global obsession did not begin under stadium lights. No cameras, no expensive boots, no perfect grass. Long before all that, people were already trying to control a ball with their feet. And one of the earliest big clues takes us to ancient China. A game called cuju. The name was brutally simple: kickball. More than 2,000 years ago, people in China were already turning ball kicking into a real skill game. But don't confuse cuju with today's football. There was no World Cup trophy, no Premier League, no VAR drama. Cuju was its own game. Different versions existed. In some versions, players competed. In others, the focus was skill, control, and performance. At different times, it was connected with training, entertainment, and public display. But the basic idea was already alive. A ball moves, a foot reacts, people watch, and nobody wants to look away. That is where the ancient story begins. Not with famous players, not with billion-dollar stadiums, with one simple human urge: kick something round and make it go exactly where you want. But cuju was not a straight road to modern football. History is never that clean. Across the world, ball games appeared in many forms. One tradition used feet, another used hands. Some used sticks. A few were controlled, many were rough. So football was not born as one perfect invention. It grew like a messy family tree, and one of the wildest branches appeared in medieval England. This was not the beautiful game. This was chaos with a ball inside it. No 11-player limit, no clean white lines, no goal nets, no referee calming everyone down. Old street football could pull huge groups of people into one noisy fight for the ball. The game moved through fields, streets, mud, and crowds. The goal was not always a neat post. It could be a landmark, a gate, or any agreed place. And the rules were loose enough to create madness. People kicked the ball, carried it, dragged it forward, pushed through crowds, fought for space. This was football before discipline, energy without control, passion without a rule book. In London, the noise and disorder became so serious that King Edward II banned football in 1314. A game had become too chaotic for the city. That one ban tells you enough. Football had power before it had structure. It could gather people, create tension, and turn normal streets into battle zones. But power alone cannot build a global sport. For that, the game needed rules. And for a long time, rules were the biggest problem. One town had its own style. A nearby school played differently. One club allowed handling, another rejected it. A rough group wanted more physical contact. A cleaner group wanted more kicking and control. So the real question was not only who won, the bigger question was, what game are we even playing? Can hands touch the ball? Can a player run while carrying it? Can someone trip an opponent? Can legs be kicked on purpose? Where does the field end? What counts as a goal? Without answers, every serious match could become an argument before it even began. The game was popular, but it was still confused. Then, the 1800s changed everything. Schools and clubs in Britain started pushing football away from street chaos and toward organized matches. The sport was becoming something people could schedule, repeat, and improve. One important step came in 1857, when Sheffield Football Club was founded. Sheffield FC is widely known as the world's first football club. By 1860, Sheffield played an inter-club match against Hallam FC. That matters because football was no longer just a crowd chasing a ball through town. Now clubs were forming, teams were meeting, matches needed agreement, but there was still no single universal code. The real turning point came in London in 1863. Representatives from football clubs met to create a definite code for the game. This led to the formation of the Football Association. That meeting did not invent kicking a ball, but it helped create modern organized football. And the biggest fight was simple: hands or no hands? That question changed everything. Some people wanted to keep a rougher style. They liked handling the ball. They also wanted hacking to remain. Hacking meant kicking an opponent's legs. Yes, that was seriously part of the debate. But the new laws moved away from that violence. The 1863 rules said players could not carry the ball. They could not trip or hack opponents. They could not throw or pass the ball by hand. They could not pick it up from the ground while it was in play. This was the moment football found its spine. Feet over hands, control over chaos, skill over leg kicking. That decision helped separate association football from rugby-style games. One argument created two futures. On one side, the sport most of the world now calls football. On the other side, games where handling the ball remained central. So the world's biggest sport was shaped by a very basic question: can you use your hands? For football, the answer became no. After 1863, everything did not become perfect overnight. Rules still developed, clubs still adjusted, different regions still had their habits. But now the game had a foundation, a written code, a clearer identity. That made it easier to teach, organize, and spread. A club from one place could meet another club and understand the same basic game. Crowds could follow the action. Players could train for the same rules. Competitions could grow. And once a simple game gets clear rules, it can travel fast. That is one reason football became massive. You do not need much to play it. A ball, some space, a few people, that is enough. A child can understand the main idea in seconds. Move the ball, protect your goal, attack the other goal. Do not use your hands. That simplicity became football's superpower. It could belong to rich people and poor people, cities and villages, schools and factories, local clubs and whole nations. Then the emotion became bigger. In 1872, Scotland and England played what is recognized as the first official international football match. The score was 0-0. No goals. But historically, it was huge. Football was no longer just club against club. Now, countries were facing each other. And once nations enter a sport, the feeling changes forever. A loss hurts more. A win lives longer. A rivalry becomes history. In 1904, FIFA was founded in Paris. By then, football had already spread beyond Britain. The game needed international organization. Then came the World Cup. The first FIFA World Cup was held in 1930. Uruguay hosted it. Uruguay won it. Think about that journey. A game once banned on city streets became a tournament watched by the world. From ancient kickball to medieval disorder, to school rules, to club meetings, to England's 1863 code, to international football, to the World Cup. That was not a straight line. It was a long climb, and every stage changed the game. Cuju showed that people were kicking balls with skill more than 2,000 years ago. Medieval football showed how wild the idea could become without control. British schools and clubs pushed it toward order. The Football Association gave it a clearer shape in 1863. International matches added national pride. FIFA and the World Cup gave it a global stage. So when someone asks, when did football start? The honest answer has two parts. Early kicking games are ancient, and cuju in China is one of the strongest examples. Modern association football began taking shape in England in 1863. No single person invented the whole sport. Nobody woke up one day and created football from zero. It was built by time, by arguments, by bans, by rule books, by clubs, by countries, and by millions of players who kept chasing the same simple idea: kick the ball, control it, score before the other side stops you. That is why football feels both modern and ancient. The cameras are new, the stadiums are new, the famous names are new, but the feeling is old. Running, chasing, competing, celebrating, blaming your friend when the pass goes wrong. Those reactions did not need television. They were already human, and maybe that is why football became the world's game. It is simple enough for a child, but powerful enough to shake a nation. One ball can carry hope. One mistake can become pain. One goal can turn a normal day into a memory people never forget. So the next time you watch a match and the crowd suddenly rises, remember this: you are not just watching 22 players chase a ball. You are watching thousands of years of human obsession reach its final form. A ball rolls, a foot swings, the world waits, and for 1 second, nothing else matters.